Humans were never intended to experience a wide range of things, yet how many times has destiny been unable to overcome such limitation? Just because we were not meant to see things does not imply that we were not better for doing so. We have defied numerous challenges that were meant to be destiny since we were not supposed to see them, from rapidly changing global environments to the deception and literal art of war. In this video, we have crunched the numbers to give you the top 15 things humans were never meant to see. But before we start, please first subscribe to our channel Unimaginable and press the bell icon for more interesting videos. Despite the fact that science has advanced at a rapid rate, there are still many things in this world that we do not understand. There are several mysteries about history and the future that remain unanswered today. Here is our list of 15 things humans were never meant to see. Number 15. Edge of rain. Have you ever been caught in a downpour on your way through a particularly bright sector of town only to be met by a curtain of rain on the other side? It is not uncommon in numerous locations around the world, especially where there is little humidity. Rain frequently covers the entire surface of areas with high humidity, such as deserts. For example, when moisture levels are high enough elsewhere, they can suddenly move over the landscape instantaneously in places like savannas of Africa and outback of Australia. The border of rainfall is one such occurrence that may occur while under these circumstances. It is not only that you cannot see anything like it anywhere else, it is also something you would expect from a novel, not reality. To an extent, theoretically, you can always glimpse the edge of the rain, yet because the clouds are constantly shifting and moving, this is sometimes deceptive. Winds blow rain in every direction, creating a sharp line on anything. However, there must come an end to everything. A torrential downpour of rain and a little bit of good fortune is all it takes to encounter such an amazing occurrence. Number 14. Ocean on fire. Have you ever dreamed about the ocean on fire? A fire was set ablaze in the Gulf of Mexico last year. From miles away, a massive eye of flame could be seen burning in the waters off Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. For hours, the brilliant orange flames raged before being completely put out. The fire erupted due to an underwater pipeline failure on an offshore oil and gas rig located near the area. The pipe was apparently corroded, causing gas to bubble up to the surface and ignite it. We are still seeking for methods to make everything safer. Even today, we cannot deny that man-made constructions and technology are sometimes harmful to biodiversity of our planet. We may not deny that technology has improved in many ways. Number 13. Tree pollen. If you have allergies, be sure to have your tablets with you. There is nothing wrong with this photo until the tree begins to fall down and leaves a pollen cloud in its wake. A few seconds later, the cloud of pollen begins to descend, and it is all an allergy nightmare from there. It is surprising to observe a pine tree expelling a towering plume of pollen that looks like a poisonous yellow fog. Number 12. Whales sleeping. The colossal sperm whales are one of the most magnificent creatures on Earth. We know a lot of things about them as a result of research, but their sleeping style is perhaps the most fascinating aspect about these animals. It is quite an odd sight to witness them taking a nap. Sperm whales rarely spend more than 7% of their day asleep, which is roughly 10 to 15 minutes each time. Whales are observed napping together in groups of 3 or 4 individuals. It is quite unusual to see whales floating upright motionless in the water. Drift diving is the name given to this condition in whales, where whales sleep with half of their brains on. Number 11. Lighthouse. Did you know that long ago, individuals put their lives on the line just to guide ships and boats in the middle of the sea? A lighthouse keeper ship is not for the faint-hearted. Sure, we have seen lighthouses before, but do you really understand what occurs between 15 feet of ocean waves relentlessly crashing against a lighthouse? As a lighthouse keeper, you must ensure that everything within the structure is in good working order and that the lens and light are fully functional. Of course, you do not need to worry while you are inside the structure, but seeing as some lighthouses are located in the middle of rough waters, it is very bad news if you ever encounter a fatal error while you are out in the ocean. Historically, lighthouse keepers were both a business and a duty passed down through families for generations. Imagine waking up and opening your door to see a huge wave about to wash you away. That was back when our technology was still rudimentary. Now there are automated lighthouses, which means there are fewer lighthouse keepers required, but also less people needed to sacrifice themselves for such dangerous job. Number 10. Darvaza Gas Crater. Did you know that this is a huge crater nicknamed the Gates of Hell, which contains the entrance to hell? This 230-foot hole has been on fire for more than 50 years and locals call it the Gates of Hell. From miles away, you may view the burning fire within it. Despite its unnatural origin, it was actually manufactured by a Soviet drilling machine when it punctured a massive natural gas cavern underground accidentally. The ground gave way and the entire drilling rig tumbled into the hole. Toxic fumes were leaking rapidly and a fire was sparked as a result. The residents initially thought that the fire would be doused with time, but several months have passed since then, and the flames continue to rage in Darvaza. In January 2022, President of Turkmenistan instructed authorities to start looking for methods to put the crater out once and for all. People still visit to see the flames despite government efforts to put them out. Number 9. Tank decoys. The 20th century was a period of conflict and destruction, with the First and Second World Wars being the most terrible years in human history. Many mysteries were hidden as the war went on. There was a ruse at D-Day known as Operation Fortitude, which was also part of a larger deception plan called Operation Bodyguard. Operation Fortitude North deceived the Germans into believing that Allied forces would strike Norway, while Operation Fortitude South attempted to fool them into thinking that troops from America would attack northern France. To carry out this procedure, they used inflatable dummy tanks. Inflatable dummies are one of the most powerful tanks in history. The Germans were fooled by these decoys into believing that the Allies had more tanks than they did. Prior to D-Day, this strategy had been utilized in North Africa during 1941 and 1942. These decoys began as wooden shells with inflatable props and evolved over time to include heat signatures that made them more effective at deceiving foes. Number 8. Glowing water. Until you have seen ocean waves gleaming brightly, you have not seen everything the world has to offer. In a few locations on Earth, these brilliant waves can be observed. These glistening waves are produced by bioluminescence in the water from algae blooms. When they are reflected by a significant wave breaking or a large splash, they generally glow. These are only evident at night. It is difficult to overstate the beauty of Mother Nature. Nature may just as easily be fatal as it may be beautiful. Red tides are usually linked to algae blooms, a situation in which water in the sea becomes red as a result of an excessive amount of toxins produced by the blooms. During red tides, clamfish are also poisonous because they might contain poisons that can cause food poisoning. Number 7. The Blood Falls. The Blood Falls are a peculiar geologic oddity hidden in the snow in Antarctica. This is the Blood Falls, which is thought to be one of the strangest occurrences in the world. It is quite amusing that the blood flows are found in a huge glacier called Taylor Glacier, which creates a crimson river of water that makes the ground appear to be bleeding for hours on end. Researchers are stumped as to why the blood drops exist, and many think red algae caused the discoloration in the water. Although this appears to be true at first, additional study has revealed that this is not the case. After careful research and with the aid of advanced imaging experts, a sophisticated network of subglacial rivers and a subglacial lake filled with saline water that is rich in iron gave off a crimson tinge were discovered. The red color of the water was attributed to a high level of iron in the lake and brine containing highly concentrated levels of iron, which caused it to have a blood-red discoloration. Number 6. Blue lava. Blue lava known as API buru, which is referred to as blue fire or sulfur fire. The term sulfur refers to this phenomenon, which occurs when sulfur burns. As the name implies, sulfurous flames result from the combustion of sulfur. Because of this, molten sulfur produces an electric blue flame that looks like lava. Because of its proximity to sulfur mining sites, it has also been called the blue volcano. The beauty of the flames may only be seen once in a blue moon, and this region is not meant for human viewing. Nevertheless, during the nighttime, when they are visible, they may be stunning. The fact that volcanic gases are deadly, and fun fact, did you know that real lava, the one with a red-orange color only, is about 700 to 1,250 degrees Celsius in temperature? If blue lava existed on Earth, it would have to be at least 6,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than any lava you can find here naturally. Number 5. Meeting of waters. If you have not seen this yet, you may believe it is an edited shot of a body of water. This is actually the Fraser River Delta in front of Vancouver, BC, Canada, and these two bodies of water come together, but they never truly mix. There is definitely a visible line where each body of water meets. The cause behind this may now be easily explained by science. This invisible water barrier exists owing to the temperature difference between fresh and salt water, as well as their salinity and density differences. The river water from the Fraser River generally flows into the ocean water of the Strait of Georgia. One part of the water is greenish and murky while the other is dark and blue. It is really astonishing as to watch the partition between these two bodies of water. Number 4. Aokigahara Forest. The Aokigahara Forest, also known as Suicide Forest, is one of the most well-known locations of Japan. However, the fact that it has become so well-known is not a sign of good fortune. At first glimpse, this beautiful wooded area may appear wonderful, but it holds numerous sorrowful and tragic tales. Over the years, the number of deaths in Aokigahara Forest has increased at an alarming rate. In 2010, local law enforcement recorded more than 200 suicide attempts in the forest. Because of that, there are many remnants littered across the forest belonging to the people who attempted to claim their very own lives. It is not illegal to visit Aokigahara Forest, but certain areas are off limits owing to the difficulty of getting lost in the forest. The forest is sometimes known as the Tree Sea. There are messages on some of the trees stating things like "Your life is a priceless gift from your parents, and please seek assistance if someone else is claiming their own life." These efforts, however, have yet to prevent any deaths in the area. Number 3. Danakil Depression. There are several locations on Earth where nature appears to operate in an unusual manner. This is the Danakil Depression, located in northernmost triangle of Ethiopia, which is a geological depression formed as a result of the 3 tectonic plates' divergence in the Horn of Africa. A basin that retains water might be thought of as a river or an ocean, but there is no drainage for the water to exit. The Danakil Depression is known as the hottest location of the world because its environment offers strange and wonderful habitats. It has salt lakes, lava lakes, and acidic springs. The remains of Lucy are one of the most notable features of the depression. The extreme environment of the depression is a paradise for researchers attempting to study extremophiles, which are microorganisms that can survive in extremely hot or cold temperatures. This depression right here provides significant information about early life on Mars. Number 2. Breathing Forest. This video shows just how wonderful nature can be. The video also exposes an entirely different perspective of what nature looks like. This video shows a breathing forest, with the floor rising and sinking softly, almost as if it were a breathing person. The footage was instantly viral, with many people shocked while others frightened. Many individuals felt that selfish behavior of man had caused nature to appear to be heaving. Deforestation and urbanization, however, have caused the loss of forests and natural habitats. However, there is a perfectly reasonable explanation behind these so-called breathing phenomena, and it is really quite simple. The tremendous wind swaying the trees caused the forest floor to rise up and down, causing this effect. Number 1. Walking ladders. Ghost ladders moving throughout the night might not appear to be a lot of a deal. Even so, the usual occurrence is beginning to get somewhat frustrating for some people. That is to say that these so-called haunted ladders are in motion at times when they are most needed, such as while working. Ladders that have gone misplaced can frequently lead to injuries. Therefore, keep in mind that if the world is hosting an army of demon ladders, we will see our hospitals full of fall-related injuries. The video does not lie about those ladders truly walking on their own. The truth is that this is not the work of a supernatural demon force, but rather excellent old-fashioned science at its finest. These ladders can walk gravity angle of repose and friction between the ladder feet and floor when the necessary conditions are satisfied. It is easier to describe than it sounds. In other words, each leg must have a downhill trajectory followed by an uneven surface with respect to the ground. This gives the 4-legged ladder enough kinetic energy to walk forward. Which of these entries did you find the most fascinating, and do you know of any other things in this world that humans were not meant to see? Let us know what you think in the comments below.